What's going on, guys? Welcome along to another video. I'm Matt and Zoe, and it is a miserable November day, but that's not going to stop us enjoying this bike. I am up at Riders in Bristol taking out this, the PanAM from Harley. Now, before I even jump on this bike, I love the look of the stealth, the blackness. The exhaust is all black. Yeah, the exhaust is huge, but it's black. They've actually taken a bit of thought to the styling and how it looks, rather than just whacking on a silver swing arm, a silver exhaust on a dark grey black paintwork. Well, let's jump on and go and see what this bike's got to offer. It's got the strange starter switch where you just push it once. There's me pushing and holding and wondering why it's not starting properly. Let's start us off then on the engine. This has got the Revolution Max 1250, so 1252cc, producing 150 brake and 128 newton meters of torque. End of the day, those are just numbers, so let's see what it's like in the real world. The ground's damp, the fog is heavy. It is not the best day to be on a bike, but if you are going to be on a bike, then why not be on something like this? You want to be on something that's easy and comfortable ride. You don't want to be on some sports bike or even another Harley, because I had a Fat Bob and that thing in the wet got a little bit sketchy. So this is almost the ideal bike to take out today. Let's look at some of the electronics then. So start off the front, obviously we've got LEDs all around, but what's nice is above the headlights is we've got extra cornering lights, we've got fog lights on this, we've got a massive TFT screen. And with this TFT screen you can actually download the Harley Davidson app, connect your phone via Bluetooth, and then have some form of navigation kind of mirroring from your phone to the screen, which for me is almost a must nowadays. For a bike like this that's designed to do the touring and absolutely munch up the miles, I want something to show my navigation. So well done, Harley. Again, nice to see on a tourer style bike, as we do have heated grips as standard. This has got cruise control as well. Now we've got a lot of buttons. We've got 11 on the right hand side and about 17 options on the left hand side as well. Like on the right and the left, there's the up and down arrows and the enter. So the right hand side is clearly for music and things like that. I feel like they could have done it where these buttons were used to do the same operation as those, just to kind of minimise the size of the cluster. We've got several different rider modes. We've got rain mode, sport, road, off-road. And I'm in the rain at the minute because the ground is wet. And the pickup on the throttle is actually really nice and smooth in rain. There's hardly any kind of joltiness at the start, there's no jerkiness. It's just smooth, easy to ride. But for me, that's enough of rain. Get it into sport mode, and it definitely picks up a lot quicker. This bike also has the electronic suspension, which gives it the ride height adaptive mode system. So when you are coming to a stop or traffic lights, it just drops the suspension ever so slightly, just to give you that little bit more control when you're at traffic lights, whether you're vertically challenged, whether you're two up with side bags and a pannier, and a back box. And then as soon as you start taking off, it then kind of raises back up to the same height that you were before. Now the base price of the PanAM is going to set you back £17,300. And then from there, you've got a few choices. So that adaptive ride height, that's an extra £650 if you want that. Side cases are going to set you back about £1,000. You've got different tyre options, as in the rims themselves. Do you go for your cast rims or do you get the spokes? For me, that kind of depends if you're going off-road or not. If you're not going off-road, I wouldn't worry about it. And then lastly, you got to decide what colour you want. So we've got it in the grey, and that is the base colour. But then there's a further 3 options with some price differences to each of them. So you've got Alpine Green, Vivid Black, and those are both going to add about £400. And then lastly is the it's like Birchwood White or Birch White, so the red and white. I'll put a little picture on the screen, and that's going to set you back around an extra £600-700. But yeah, 17.3 if you have it in grey, cast wheels, no bags and no extras. Let's face it, nowadays in in the world of expensive bikes, 17 grand is cheap, which is crazy to say. And now I say that because last week I was on the BMW GSA 1300. The week before that I was on the GS 1300, the Caratana, or the golden green one. And those, once you've kitted them out, you're looking about 25 grand, 23 to 25. Like, even if you didn't touch them by putting any extras on, you're probably talking 20 to 21 and a half as a base for the GSA TE. An extra 4 grand on top of this is a lot of money, and you got to ask yourself, is it worth it? And I'm not going to be the one to answer that for you. You'll have to find out yourself. So obviously, if you want to come and test ride this, head up to Riders in Bristol. As I said, it does have the electronic suspension. For reference, I'm 115 kilos and 6'1", and I think I would have to have a little play around just to fine tune it a little bit. I mean, that's the same with any suspension, whether it's electronic or standard. You should get it set to your weight and your riding style. I'm finding it a little bit stiff at the minute on these back roads. Now, being 6'1", I feel like I'm sat in the bike. Like, it feels quite low, the seat height. My knees are a little bit high with the pegs, but again, I'm 6'1", a lot of people aren't that at all. But with this adaptive ride height, I have got both feet flat on the floor. So come to any traffic lights or moving it around a car park or whatever, it's going to be easy to manoeuvre, which is what we like to see. But these tight lanes, tight corners, 20 miles an hour speeds, it's easy on the bike. We've got a large windscreen, and it is adjustable, one-handed, left-hand action. Top left-hand side, you kind of like pinch it and then just rotate it round. It's actually got different positions that you can stop it at. We've got a big old tank between our legs and the handlebar, coming in at 21 litres. I managed to put the windscreen in its highest position, so the wind is hitting right at the top of my helmet, but there is a little bit of side wind, but it ain't too bad. So unfortunately it doesn't come with the quick shifter as standard, but it is an optional extra. Me personally, I love a bike with quick shifter, so it is something I would add on. Because the clutch pull is quite strong, it's quite heavy. Strong? Yeah, it's a heavy clutch pull. Well, there we go then, looking around the PanAM. We're going to start off at the front. So at the top here, so these are the normal lights. You've got your fog lights either side, and then this here is the extra cornering lights. Anything to help us see the road a little bit better, especially at night time, I'm all for. More importantly, more lights on the front, more chance of other car users seeing us. I like how we've got the blacked out crash bars. We've got the winglets at the front here to kind of direct the hot air away from the rider. We've got a nice exhaust coming into this massive behemoth. Now for me, it doesn't particularly sound the best, but what I do like is they've blacked it out, they've tried to make it look good, and obviously it does have the nice kind of sleekness in line with the bike. And another thing, we've got the integrated luggage rack, which I think just looks really good. It sleeks it up, it doesn't have the extra kind of scaffolding like the GS does. Now, a lot of people will complain that any bike that's designed for touring and long distance shouldn't have a chain, but this one does. So any form of chain maintenance is going to be made easy with the included centre stand. We've got a keyless start on this bike, but we still need to use the key for the tank pad, for the tank cap and the steering lock. But for me, if we've got an electronic key, why not have an electronic steering lock as well? Other bikes have got it out there. And for reference, the steering lock is on the right hand side, just next to the steering dampener. This bike has a seat height of 850 on the low seat option, and it goes up to 875 on the high seat option. Like I said, 6'1", both feet flat on the floor, super easy. For me personally, I think the handlebar reach is kind of at its maximum distance I'd want from my body. I'm not sure how shorter riders would cope, because my crotch is at the kind of front of the seat, so it's hitting the tank, and handlebar is at its kind of, say, furthest point I'd want it. Be interesting to know, if you are a shorter rider and you do have one of these, what do you think of the seat to handlebar reach? Is it comfortable? Have you had to put bar risers on or anything to kind of bring it towards you? what have you done? Quick sound test. Interesting, it actually only allows you to rev up to 4,000 RPM. Bearing in mind, this goes up to 10,000. It was only allowing me to blip it to 4. Even if I held it open, yeah, it was held there. And the last thing to discuss is the weight of this thing. This thing is 258 kilos, not light by any stretch of the imagination, but it doesn't feel it. The weight is definitely held down low. Like it's fairly easy to maneuver around the car park, around your garage, whatever it may be. Different story if you're doing off-road and you're picking this thing up. But fair play to you if you're taking this off-road. Now quickly, before we jump back on it, when I stood here, I noticed that the seat was sitting quite low in comparison. So if you see this kind of natural line, this was probably an inch lower. And then when I was reading off the stats, it said how the seat in the low position was 850 and then in the high was 875. Clocked that the seat was probably in the low seat position. Sure enough, pop that seat off, pop this seat off, and it was. Now it's really easy to change it between the lower and the higher position. When this is off, the front kind of sits in. When you're digging the front in, there's a lower slot and an upper slot. And it's literally just whichever slot you put the front two hinge points of the seat in will be the low or the high. And as you can tell now, that has got like a nice angle to it. Because I was finding my bag was hitting the back of the seat in the low position. So, hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, look at that. The bag doesn't hit. Now, with the seat in the high position, I still have both feet flat on the floor, but it's definitely not as easy. So actually now, with that seat having been raised up slightly, I'm not as low in the bike. I'm in a better position for me, being 6'1". And look, 260 kilos, I can still lean it over. Yeah, so now my hip, knee, foot peg ratio isn't as tight, and there's not as much pressure on my knees as what there was in the lower position. So I could say, definitely, if you are around the 6 foot, put it into the high, and you'll be much better. It handles really nicely. Like I was saying, the center of gravity, the weight feels really low. So these kind of back rows, it just blips around. Plenty of stopping power with the Brembos, just like that. Almost like I planned that. Now with everyone else, when I say everyone else, I'm talking Honda, BMW, Yamaha, KTM. They've all got some form of auto gearbox. I wonder if Harley will do something similar. I don't know why, but these like proper old school square mirrors, I quite like them. It's the little things in life that satisfy me. It's funny because that's actually what Zoe says as well, which is lucky. That's alright mate, you pull out. It's got a decent turning circle. That's a tight right-hander. No dramas. I'm interested to know, so drop a comment below, if when you were in the market for your big adventure bike, did Harley and the PanAM come across your radar? Was it on your demo list? And if not, why not? The engine is definitely punchy enough to keep you interested. It's not a slow engine. Like, I know this is designed to do some form of off-roading. It's got the off-road mode, it's got the crash bars, but I'd feel more precious about taking this off-road. I don't know why. Like, I bought my GSA knowing I was going to take it off-road and drop it and not really care about it. I wonder how many PanAM owners take theirs off-road, because let's face it, GSA owners, there is not a lot of them that actually take theirs off-road. So is there much point in manufacturers making these bikes that are designed to do road and off-road? Is there truly a market for the big adventure bike to go off-road? After having taken my GSA off-road and picking it up several times, 100% I would rather have a decent road bike and then buy something light for the off-road. And this covers the decent road bike. Brembo brakes, electronic suspension, large CFT with maps, heated grips, cruise control. Like, it's got all the basics that you want for a decent road touring bike. Now last year at the NEC I did actually take or jump on one of these on their like off-road section, and obviously it can do it, and I got told off because I kept popping wheelies over the mud hills. It's not my fault. I watched your demonstrator bloke do it. I reckon if you got a full system on this, got rid of that exhaust, you could open this up and it could sound really nice. Because as soon as you kind of get up around 4,000 RPM, bearing in mind, like I said, this revs to 10,000. As you get around 4 and above, you're going to hear it. It starts to liven up, but it's definitely choked a little bit. Now, yeah, we all like a little bit of choking, but not on my motorcycle. Open it up, let it breathe, let it sound a little bit better, you know what I mean? Well, guys, don't forget, if you do want to jump on one of these, head on over to Riders of Bristol. Speak to Jason and he'll get you out on it. Hope you've enjoyed it, hope you found it useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up. More importantly, subscribe to the channel. Helps us keep growing. And there's nothing else to say, but thank you very much. Until next time, ride safe.